Hi, thank you for joining here. Today we are going to integrate Novu into our MERN Stack application. So I'd like to introduce myself. Is my screen visible? Let me try to share the screen. Okay, I am Fiddle Matthew. I'm a student at VIT Chennai and I'm a content creator at Aviyel. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Fiddle Matthew 10. And we're gonna build a Novu. We're gonna build a to-do application. I'm gonna show you how it works. Okay. So here's our notified to-do application. I have named it like that. It's quite similar to Jira if you have used in your application. So like suppose I'm the manager and I want to assign tasks to my employees. So like I want to say bring vegetables or like do some chores. So I'm like saying in the to do I'm saying bring vegetables, and in the email I'm sending the email to the workers email. So I'm saying bring vegetables to the email. Fiddle Matthew Perfect. That's me only. I'm telling to myself. So let's try once. Let's check it. Okay. It's currently on localhost 3000, and I have my backend hosted on localhost 5000. So yeah. So let's. Can you guys suggest me some to do? Hey, to do. Hi, Postman. Hi. Do how about let's go with the to do eat. Right now it's night here, so I would like eat dinner to do, and I'm gonna use my this email. So let's see if it works or not. So I have added the to-do list, and if I reload the server, you can see it's added here in the database. And yeah, I got an email. Uh, Hi, new assigned to do eat dinner. This is from my other email, which has been used to send emails to. This is like the boss email, and I am using the employee email, which I am getting the to dos. So we're gonna build this application today, and are you excited? So, hi Abhinav. Cool. Okay. So let's make a new app. So I have made a new folder. I just initialize the folder known as to do notify. Okay, and I have made two folders inside it: a backend folder and a front end folder. So in the backend folder, I've just initialized. If you see, I can show you. I've just initialized empty index.js and a env file, which I don't want to show you guys because it contains my no API keys. We will talk about it later when we will be working on the backend. For right now, let's work on the front end. So let's open Visual Studio Code. Um, yeah, we can. We want to create a React application for this, right? So npx create React app, and since we want it to happen in front end folder itself, so we want to use this. So yeah. So you see package.json is building up, and we are installing the dependencies. Let's wait for some seconds, and until then I can see the chats. Yeah, it takes time a lot. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to install the packages. So the workflow is like I'm gonna first build the front end. I'm not gonna do the CSS part because that will move us from the main agenda we are talking about. So you can follow up for the if you want to go to the code base, I will share in the code base here. If you want to refer it, I'll share it in the chat box. Let me not forget about it. So yeah, this is the code of the this application. I've not hosted it because I don't want people to like send emails to me, and I also wanted to add the requirements for this project. You should have Node.js installed in your system, and you should either use MongoDB as a database, or you can use MongoDB Atlas, which is hosted on cloud. So in this tutorial, I'm using MongoDB because I am not going to host it. So if you have a plan of hosting it and like adding authentication like boss authenticated, etc., admin panel, etc., you can have it on MongoDB Atlas. That's better suitable option for you. And we'll talk about the backend dependencies later. We will install them. Okay, let's see whether it works or not. So where are you guys right now, and what are you doing? By the way, I'm just waiting for the React application to install. Till then, you can talk about yourselves. You can list down any to dos I can work on. Like I can use any to dos. Eagerly waiting for the weekend. Yeah, same bro. Weekend is the only time we get some rest. Like, okay. So yeah, we created our React application. Let's start it. We can start it by npm start. So let's start the React server. I really like the React when the first close 3000 week starts. It shows a nice UI. I really like it. In the meanwhile, that we can delete the unnecessary tests which are not important to us. We can delete it. I'm just deleting it. The setup test, report, web vitals, logo. I want to keep it like I just wait for. Let's wait. Okay, yeah. I'll just tweet this one, the previous one, on the backend. Let's start it again. So I want to another app. Yeah. Hmm. So all of you are in India. Anybody from outside of India? Piyushman, where are you from, by the way? Piyushman. Small. So first we will be building out our basic front end application. Then we will be building our back end, and after that we will integrate Novu to our application. Okay, guys. So yeah. So I like this. So now let's destroy it. We can delete all the test files. Okay, let's clean it up and be ready for some errors. They're not in the Node.js logo. Yeah, yeah. So we are left with four files: app.css, app.js, index.css, index.js. Okay, guys, you can remove this. We are not having it. We don't have this. Let's start over here. Front-end data sourcing. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm not having logo. I'm gonna remove this entire thing. First. And then, um, I'd like to use this React snippets, so I want to change it to React. So, yeah, so let's have it like hello. So it should be printing hello. Yeah, it is printing hello. So our front end is currently running perfectly. So, so let's see what we have to do. So we had to take two inputs, a to do plus an email, which we want to trigger the to do to. So let's create use state hook to manage this. Okay. How should I build the UI? I want to build the UI. I really like use state hook. Okay. So with email, let's email here, and let's create another use state hook. Here we will set to do, and we have to manage the array, the to do array that we can store it in to do. For right now, we can set it like to do heading, which is better naming, I feel. And this both are strings, so we are setting it like this, initializing with empty string. Okay, the state is not defined. Let's define it. Import state from the array. Okay. Yeah. Now the others are gone. Only one is. Let's create another div. Let's create a form. Inside the form, let's have. So I'm going to take two inputs, email and to do. Ready? Okay. So let's take an input. So yeah, I am taking one input, second input. Okay. Let's have some placeholder tests to let's know which one are we doing. And here we can have placeholder as email, and we can have button. Like when you want to send data to the backend, we want to submit something, right? So we can have a button to submit the file. So we have to put it at type submit. So yeah, like we can add a simple plus or like add, for instance, we can use anything. Right now, let's do that because I'm not using in CSS. The plus might look very bad. And to submit the form, we need a function in the form that's called as on submit. So let's call that, and we need a function. Okay. So let's call, what should I call it? Let's add the function name as add to do. Okay. And initially make the function here. Okay, I just wanted to confirm, is everybody following along or do you have any doubts, etc. You can tell me in the chats. Do you have any doubts or etc. Everybody is following along. Just want to know. Okay, I got a thumbs up. Okay, let's then continue. I hope you are able to see my screen. Okay. Okay. So we are having on submit function with this. Okay, we since we are using this thing, we want like if let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna initialize function here. To do, I'm using ES6 um, fat arrow function, which I like to use right nowadays. I don't like to use the function define etc. I'm gonna use this. So let's save it. Okay, I just want to see the UI right now. So yeah, to do email and add. So when we click on the add button, it's gonna trigger the add to do. But we want to store the data which is in the to do and the email, which we are gonna type. We want it to store somewhere, right? So that's why we are using the use state to store it. Okay. So the function through which we can store the data is like on change. We can set it like um, set email, sorry, set to do heading, and we're gonna pass in e dot target dot value. Since we are passing the e dot target dot value, we need to pass in as a function. So it's something like this. You are using the event of on change to pass in the value into the to do heading. Okay. So let's check whether it's working or not. Okay. Let's have use effect. So whenever there's change in a state, use state, we can trigger it using use state, the use effect. Sorry. Suppose we want to have to do heading. Whenever to do heading changes, we can console log the value of to do heading. We can also use what is it? React, the functions React. We can also use that. But for right now, I'm just using console log. Let's use that. To do heading. Console log the value. I hope it works. Okay, use effect not defined. Let's define it. Use effect. Okay. So let's save the console. Yeah, it's working. So DSA DAS. So it's the current value which we have right now. So it's perfectly working fine. Okay. We don't need this use state. Yeah, I just wanted it to check whether it's working or not. Similarly, we're gonna do the same with the email part. So I'm gonna just copy paste and instead of to do set to do heading, I'm gonna set an email. So we're gonna have the exact values in the states when it's gonna be triggered. So when we click the submit button, we're gonna have add to the function. So we need another use state to manage the to-dos, right? We want to show all the to-dos as I was showing people, right? So let's create another use state. Okay. Use state, right? And we can name it to-do. So it's going to be an array. Right? So we'll be storing these both values in as an object inside the array. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to show you. So if okay, let's have it like required. So you have to have it. It's necessary. So let's have it like that. We can also have the checks whether it's null or not. Let's see what then we can have. Um, so it's checking whether it's null. Both should be not null. Okay. So what we can do is if both of them are not null, okay, let's see. If it's null, it works. So, 1 minute. I do have some problem with my lighting here. Okay, so let's set the to do as sorry. Since okay, I'm gonna use so we want to store the to do as like this email and to do heading as to do heading. We want to store it like that, but we want to store add into the array, right? So we can what we can do is we can use this to do comma this. So what it does is it will change it will have all the objects inside the to do as an object comma comma. So you will not be having it as an array. It will showcase it as the element of the array. So if you are not clear with it, I am going to show it. Let me show. You just come set the to do. Yeah, set the to do and let's showcase the to dos, guys. What we can do is let's should I console log it? Okay, let me we to do is an array. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to map an array elements, right? So let's use React JSX power and map all the elements of the to do. So so we want to return let's return a tail. Let's okay. We want to have the value. The first parameter is the value, and second parameter is the index. I don't know whether I would need the index, but yeah, I just put it right there. So we want to have the to do. So each element would be like containing this thing, one object. So we want to map that object value. Okay. So value. So we want to have it like value dot what you want. You want an email, and, and we can also put it as space and that val dot heading. Let's see if it works. If it does not work, I have to check it. Use if it was not used. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. We can lose all the to-dos right now. Okay, I'm just adding this. Okay, okay, okay. You see it refreshed. We don't want it to refresh. So one thing we can do is this we should add we should pass the event to here. So we will be passing on commit, we will be passing event thing. So that we could prevent the refreshing. We can use it by e dot event default. By this, we're preventing the reloading of the page when a form is submitted. It's not defined. Okay, I'm not passing. Yeah, it works. Let's see if it works right now. Okay. Um, okay, let's see what it's said to do is having. But we can use effect to use effect here. It's not this, and I just want to console log. You know, and we can go after to do as so whenever to do changes, we wanna have a console log of the to do. Let's try it. It's I want to check whether it's not working. I think I might have done something here. Let's forget about this. Now then checking whether it's required or not. Yeah. So each child should have a unit key. It's a morning, so if we add something like this, so yeah, we are having all the to-dos right here. And if you console log, you can see the array one. The array contains the element one is this FD and SG, and this contains FF, FD, FF, FDF, something. Okay, so yeah, we have two objects in the array, and to remove this error, we can have a key. A key should be unique, so we can have while returning it, we can have the key as index. So index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. etc. So yeah, I hope you are able to follow along. If you have any issues, you can just put it out in the chat box. We're more than happy to work on it. Okay, I got a phone, so I think it's pretty good to go. So yeah, I'm just, I think the to-do thing is working, but when you refresh, it's gone. So the thing is, we are not storing the data anywhere. So we're gonna use MongoDB to store the data. So for right now, I'm just using and adding some things. Yeah, it's working fine. Let me add it to the center. I just don't want it to be in the extreme right corner. In this inline styling. Let's see if it works or not. I don't know. Let's have it. Let's have it center. Let's see. And it's in the center. Let's have some padding. Margin top would be like I guess. Margin top would be so. And we can have some spacing here and there. I think that's fine. I'm going to make classes and stuff. Yes. And have margin top of this would be larger. I think 20 pixel would be fine. Yeah. So yeah, we are having the email as well as the to do. This I should have it like this. To do and email. To do and the email would be assigned like this. Okay, the main. So we have built out the front end right now. So let's work on the back end, okay, guys. So I'm gonna just keep it like here. I want to like shut it down right now. We are gonna continue it later. Okay, let's move on to our backend. So if we move on to the other folder, it need not necessarily be in the same folder, but yeah, I just do it for my own convenience. Okay, so I have an empty integer.js and an env file. So we are gonna use .env to store our secret keys. So you don't want your secret keys to be taken by anybody else, right? You don't want my I don't want my Novu keys to be accessed by anybody else and use somebody could send notifications using that, right? So since we want to start our backend, first of all we have to initialize our package.json, which we will do like npm init. Let's do it. One goes to I should have done -y. So -y automatically takes all of it. So yeah, I have installed package.json. So now I can install and add dependencies to this. Actually, added in the presentation the dependencies we will be using. We're going to use Express, Mongoose, .env to store our private files, private keys, etc. And we are going to use Novu and Course. This is for security issues which happens when we are trying to connect our front end and back end. Okay, so let's install all the packages. So npm install anything. Express, let's have it Express. We can have what do you want? We can have we want Mongoose and .env. You want Novu slash load, and I am missing one thing. Okay, we want course. Okay. Let's install all the dependencies. These dependencies don't take a lot of time compared to React. React is pretty huge, I guess. Yeah. So if you're able to see all the dependencies installed here, that means you're good to go. Okay. First of all, let's take Express. We want to take Express. Once Express is going to, we will require Express. So yeah, and we have to use Express function like this. So we have successfully have the Express done. Then we want Mongoose just initialize and all things right now. So just requiring Mongoose and also calls right now. We will be working with Novu later, which I will be working on it on a separate file so that it does not become a lot clustered So yeah, so we are having costs. So I'm gonna use app.use uh, express uh, dot json. So this is because we use express.json because we want to parse all the objects that are passed. And like when we receive data, we want to pass those JSON into objects which we can use in our backend. Okay? We will be using cores. That's the only two things the app's gonna use. It's easy. So yeah, just simple like that. It's gonna prevent your data security issues between your front end and back end while you try to connect. So I'm preventing that already. Another way of connecting front end and back end is using proxy, which you can try. But I would go with this for this tutorial right now. So let's have the server listen first, and for that we need a port, right? So let's have a port on which the server will be listening. So right now I'm gonna have process.env dot port. If I'm gonna set a port env here, I'm gonna take it from here. Else I'm gonna have the port as 5000 right now. Uh, Please make sure you have this when you are going to host your backend. You can host it in Heroku or any other platform you like. So let's have it like port. We need a function, and if it is working, we will have console log. We can have server is listening to port. So let's try this. You can also use Node as a package, but I like to use it like this. So what Node does is if you want to run this file, you will only be able to run once. But since we want to make changes and want to run it like React, like what React does is like you don't have to run the entire server again and again. But so that's what Node does. You don't have to run it again and again. It eases the process. It just keeps it online. You just have to save your file. So it's successfully running at 5000. Don't save it. See, when I'm going to save it, it's gonna run again. Simple as that. So before seeing the port at 5000, let's have get request. So what get request is, get is used to retrieve information from the front end. So we are set the URL, so which URL we are going to specify to receive the information from the backend. So right now I'm going to choose the home page, and it takes two parameter request and response. Make sure that you have it like this request and then response. Do not interchange this stuff because then it's going to be problematic for you. So we will gonna send response dot send. Server is working. Okay, let's try this. Okay, refresh it. Okay, we are having server is working. So yes, our backend is uh, doing pretty smooth, I guess. We have currently set up our server. It's doing pretty good. Now, tell me what we need to do. We need to have a couple of things, right? We need to add the to-dos into our backend, and for that we will be requiring mongoose, which we have installed here. So, how would we use mongoose, right? So, let's see. We can use mongoose easily. So, we can use? So, when we want to connect mongoose, so mongoose has a lot of options. So, we will be building a schema and a model later. First, we have to connect our mongoose. Okay. For connection, we will connect. Okay. We will connect our mongoose, and so for that I want to show you guys like in my command prompt I have Mongo installed in my system, and if I use Mongo, I can see the entire Mongo interface opened up in front of me. If you don't have this, make sure you set your environment variables after installing Mongo, MongoDB on our system, or else you could use MongoDB at less, as I said earlier. MongoDB will only work if you want to only test it in our system. But if you want to host it, deploy it, and want real users work on it, I would prefer using MongoDB at least. Okay, that's like the database is stored on cloud, so it's gonna get updated each time. So so how do we connect it, right? So MongoDB. This just you have to remember this. So local host, and this should be the name of the application we want to build, right? So let's have it to do notify. Okay, to do notify. So you don't have to create it separately. MongoDB automatically does this, and if it exists, every time we run this, we will must be thinking like, does it make another to do? No, no, it does not. It will keep it the same and with the existing data. So that's pretty good thing about Mongoose. So it returns a promise. So you guys can use async await for this, but async await requires a function. I don't want to make a function right now, so I'm going to just go with the traditional way of catching promises. That is .then, and we'll be having we have console.log. Yeah, we can have connection with MongoDB established. Yes, okay, I want to keep it down because I want to keep it neat and clean. Then we will have catch. So if any error occurs during while trying to connect with the MongoDB, we can have the catch that will be passing error. Yeah. So I'm not this is not the error. It got imported here. It's not there. Okay, so we will control along the error. Let's see if it works. Error. Let's try to save it. Okay, connection established with MongoDB. That means we have successfully created a MongoDB database collection inside our this. So let's see. Okay, wait a minute. Show DBS. So yeah, we should have successfully created a. Yeah, let me see. Okay. This we have to do notify here. Okay, I think it's connection established. Let's see whether it works or not. Um, what we can do is let's have some data passed into it, right? So for which we have to create a post request for adding data. We can have it like um, also takes request and response. And do you guys have any doubts, by the way, in between the session? If you have any doubts, feel free to ping me up. Any doubts? I don't think so. Do you have any doubts? So yeah, Mongoose is connected. Okay, I forgot. We had to create a schema and then a model. Okay, that's why I think it does not appear there. So first of all, let's create a schema. So let's name it wants to do schema, and it's new schema. We're gonna pass in how the data should appear inside the database. So we need it like let's have it. We need what do we need? We need to do heading. I just want it to be same with the front end, so it's easier. I just want let's take it once. How did I keep it? I think I keep it like this. Uh, I'm gonna keep it capital in this case. Okay, I'm gonna keep it capital and let's have it as string. The other thing I want to do is we want an email that is also a string. Okay, I think we have made our to do schema. So what we can do now is we need to create a to do model. Okay. So const to do equal to rules dot model. We're gonna pass in. See, we need to pass in a string schema. So let's pass in that. Okay, we're gonna pass in a string with this to do itself, and we're gonna pass in the schema to do schema. So hopefully after this we will get our to do working. Okay, let's see if it works. Restarting. Okay. Okay, so guys, right now you can see to do notify has been built. So yeah, we have successfully created our schema and our model, so we can add data into it and store it. How about that? Isn't it cool? Yeah, so fun. If you have any doubts, you can just ping up in the public chats or Q&A section. I will be happy to help you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm getting bouquets and thumbs up, so I think everybody's following up. Nice. So after creating the to-do schema model, sorry, after creating the model, we want to post it, right? So going to use the same URL. You can use different URL. I'm going to use the same URL. In post request, we usually pass data through the request body. Okay. So I'm going to use this. So request.body. So when the user sends us a request in the server, to the server, the request.body contains all the information that the user wants to pass. Okay. In our case, the request.body would contain what is it, a to-do heading and an email. Okay, I think I would be using. I think I'm going to go with that only. Small ones. Others I might have errors. Here, like it's not connected. You can have to do capital and to do small here. To do small is because I am using to do small here and email small here. Because when I gonna pass it, I'm gonna pass it like this only. That's all. It's up to you totally. So we want to get this information. What do you want to do is you want to create a new to do. So for that, first of all, most all the operations in the database, like creation, deletion, searching, all operations are async functions. It takes some time, which it returns a promise and takes some time, and we'll see it works or not. So I'm gonna use the ES6 method using async await, which I personally like. So yeah, one more thing. Whenever you are using async await functions, like async functions, so you need to have async here. Only awaited work. sometimes if you don't use testing, the server does not even gives us an error. So it's very hard to find what error we are going to debug. So yeah, just speaking from some hours that I wasted. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's have a response. This we're going to create a to do, right? So we can have a response to do or something like that, and obviously we can update it. You have this to do model to do work. See, we are getting all the functions right. Find one, find by ID, remove, etc. etc. So to create a new object, we're gonna use create function. We're gonna pass in this. So it would contain this to heading and to email. So okay, actually it's like this, and this. So it's like key mapping. We are having this key, like we initialize to do heading here. We are assigning this to do heading value here. We assign email here and the schema. We are assigning email, which we are assigning it the value of the request.body email, which you're gonna get. Since the name, both the things are same, we can remove it and it's the same. It's gonna be the same, and it looks neat compared to having any other things. So after that, if it is successful, we want to return a response, right? So that the user need to know whether it's working or not. We need to know while testing it's working or not. So we can have the from the JSON, and we're gonna send response to do, and we're gonna also send the standard out like 200 or 201. It's up to you. Uh, we can also have response on error. So if it's not response on error, it's JSON. We will gonna pass the error. The status will be 500 because it's internal server error caused by our server. So yeah, let's test it out. So for testing it out, I have to create an entire application in the front end if I want to test it out. So before testing it out, I in the front end I can use a tool known as Postman, which I really like. So let's use that tool, Postman. You wanna learn a lot of technologies in this. Also. So yeah, I'm gonna create a new collection here. Let's create a new collection. I'm gonna name it. Let's name it. Gold. Correct. Something is not working. Let me try it. Yeah, I'm gonna use. We can easily create a collection like this. Create a new collection here. So yeah, and this one is fine. I think I did something else. So yeah, we create a new collection. Let's name it to do notify. Let's name it to do notify. So we can have all the requests we need in the application here. So we want to have a post request right now, right? So let's add a request here. We just have to add a request, or we can go to three dots and add a request here. So let's do something like that. And yeah, by default it's the get request, and let's change it to like add to do's, and let's change it to post. Yeah. So we want to have the URL, right? So which URL are we gonna paste? We're gonna paste localhost 5000 for this because we're gonna our service is running on localhost 5000 and yeah. we are having the post request on the home page, as you can see. So let's have it the request here. Local 5000 slash. So this is the home page. If you have it or not, does not matter. Let's have something in the body. So if you want to pass JSON in the body, you have to go select raw and change it to JSON. Okay. So JSON starts like this, and you want to pass email, and you want to pass a to do, right? To do heading. So in JSON, everything is inside double quotes. Make sure of that. Let's have the to do as eat. Why do I think of eating every time? Okay, let's move. Switch off the fan. Typical Indian. And switch off the fan. Okay. I'm just gonna have a random email like fidel@gmail.com. So if I click send, it should hopefully work. Let's see if it works or not. Let's debug it. It's taking some time. Is it sending sending okay, let's wait. I don't know. Okay, let's start with the get request. Does get request work? Get request is working. We are getting server is working. Exactly the response we want. But means the post request. Post request. Okay, I did not save the file. Okay, guys, I did not save the file. That's why it's not working. Not save the file. Okay, I saved it. And I did it again. Okay, got it. So I did not save the file. My mistake. So we have sent this data, this JSON data, and now a response body is giving us the to-do heading, email, and an ID, which is automatically generated by MongoDB. Okay, that means our it's successfully created. Our data is successfully being created in the database. That's pretty cool. So let's add one more to do. Any to dos you want to suggest in the chat? Any to dos? I'm waiting. Would you be interested in some to dos? Remember to walk my pet. Okay, let's have that. And, and since Siddharth has pointed out that, so we can have Siddharth's email at gmail.com. Saved it and send a request. Yeah. So we have another to do created with email Siddharth and remember to walk my pet. Going pretty good, I guess. So now let's have all the data from the to-dos. All the to-dos you want to receive in the front end. Okay. So what we gonna get? We are gonna use the get request. I'm gonna use the same URL as before. I'm gonna use async function to get all the to-dos. So I'm gonna use async. Let's use a try catch block and log error if it happens. So how do we get all the to-dos right? So one thing we can do is so const plus all to-dos, you can have all to-dos equal to await to-do dot find. So what to-do.find does is to pass it an empty um, this. So it does not have a parameter to search upon. So it finds all the to-dos and we fetch all the to-dos here. Okay. It does not have a parameter right now. If you want to find on basis of something, we can pass a parameter through which we want to search it. For right now, we don't need any parameter as such, so I'm using that. So let's use the response.json and send all the to-dos, all to-dos, and status as 200. And if there's an error, we can have the status as this. Let's log the status also, like something with error. Not happen, so don't worry about. Yeah. So we are going to fetch all the to-dos, and in response we're gonna set the to-dos. Okay. Let's have it. We have to go get request and yeah. So in the get request we are getting all the to-dos, right. We are getting my to-do and Siddharth's to-do. Okay. So it's working perfectly fine. What we can do is go to let's start the front end now. Okay. Let's start the front end again. Let's start the front end and again npm started. So guys, I hope it's clear right now. Everything we have yet to integrate Novu, but yeah, awesome, awesome. You don't need this. In the meanwhile, let's talk about Novu, right? So what Novu does is, okay, before that, let's you need to before using Novu, you need to have an account on Novu. You can easily have an account on Novu using your GitHub. Just integrate it with it, log in using GitHub. It's one step process, literally very easy. Once you have integrated Novo, you can easily work with it. So what Novo does is, I'm going to show you the integration store. So in today's world, so we need notifications more than ever. We need notifications via email, via SMS, or in-app notifications on using Slack, Discord, which Novo team is currently working upon. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, right now we have options like email and SMS and in-app. So in email we have certain providers, so like Mailjet, Email.js, which helps us use our email information and send emails to their platform, right? So what Novo does is helps us to integrate all this uh, service providers with a one unified API. Otherwise, we had to work with a lot of different APIs, and it would be a headache for uh, company to work on notifications. So Novo really eases that part of development and by building a notification infrastructure. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the integration with the backend. Okay. So as you can see, okay, this is the old one. Okay, let's forget about it. Okay, let's remove it. So guys, this is the new one. So you can see it's empty because we don't have any data. We're not fetching any data. And here we have the current one. We have all the to-dos, right? Awesome. So what we can do is we want to fetch all the data, right? So how can we fetch the data? When do we want to fetch the data? So we want to fetch the data when the app loads. So the app loads, use effect is the one responsible to manage it. So when the app starts, use effect runs once and it runs upon whether the dependency depends on the dependency we are using in the use effect. Okay. So let's keep it blank right now. We want to fetch all the data. We want to fetch just data, right? Get request. Okay. We want to fetch just data. So what we can do is, okay, I need to install one package. I forgot about it. I'm gonna use Axios. Axios really makes it easy to work with stuff. work with like post request, get request. It makes it really easy. I love using Axios package. Okay, so we had to first import the Axios package. Let's import it. Import Axios from Axios. Nice. So let's have it like let's create a function because it's async operation, and async operation always needs a function. So let's have it like get to dos. We're getting to dos from the server, from backend, and let's have it. This is a function. Make sure it's async. So it get to dos. We're gonna have it get to dos. Okay. So what you want to do is const response and send anything. You can name it anything. Const response is equal to Axios dot get. We will be passing the URL and we'll be using the function here. Wait a minute. So I'm just going to confirm. Okay. Like this. Confirm out response. I tend to forget something. Okay, let's see whether it works or not. If I get any response, it's fine. I get a promise. Okay, I forgot await. So if you forgot await, you will get a promise. Not a pinky promise. It's JavaScript promise. So yeah, you got the data. We got the data. Okay. We're getting the data as dot type, which we don't want. Yeah. We don't log this dot if he is on. Let's see if it works. I don't think so. It's gonna. Yeah. I just you can see this out. In response, I'm going to take. Yeah. Okay. Where data response, just want to check, take a look. Let's see. Let me think once again. Yeah, what I am missing. Okay. Let me go back to. I will just check it. Sorry. Just want to take a look how I implemented that. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. I forgot about it. I literally forgot about it. Okay. Okay. I want to use this. So I'm fetching the data from the endpoint, but I need the URL, right? I need the complete URL. So I'm gonna initialize the URL here. Const URL is equal to URL is localhost, right? Plus 5,000. Getting the information from here. Let's get our URL and let's get the information from this URL. Let's see if it works or not. Yeah. Now we're getting data. Let's refresh again. I don't want this data. Yeah. We're getting two arrays with ID and to do heading, etc. Email to do heading. So yeah, it's working. So what we need to do now is that we just need to update our use state, our to do use state, right? So we can do this using and this for that it's in the data response or data it contains. It's, so yeah, one thing to note about. So let's set to do as response dot data. Okay. Since it's an await operation, let's try to have a try catch block to debug errors if it happens in the future. Logs and yeah, whenever we refresh, we are getting the two to dos we have already listed out. Okay, so now we want to send data. We are only updating the data in our front end till now, but now we want to send the data to the backend, right? We can do the same using a post request. Okay, let me show you how. I think this is the front end, right? Okay, use effect get to use added. Yeah. So first of all, you are preventing this. After that, make sure let's have it like what should we do? Okay. You want to have the same thing, const added. What is the added to do? Anything? We don't need this, but yeah, I will just do the formality. And we have a async function here. So, update Axios. Axios like sounds like a spell. Axios, something like. Okay. Pass in the URL, and we want to pass the data. So this is the URL, and this is the data we want to pass to the backend. Okay. So our backend is saying two things: to do heading and to do email. Let's pass that only. Passing to do heading and to do email. I think it should work. It's technically like this only. To do heading and for simplicity, I'm gonna use like this. Yeah. So we are passing the data to the backend like this, and yes, it works. Okay, let's have a try catch block. Want to have a try. So if it works, let's just run good. Otherwise, we will get a lot of error. Okay, and we want to only set the to do in the front end if this one works, right? So put it before the catch. Yeah. Let me brief about how it's going. Let's see if it works or not. Then I will brief. Add to this assign the value but not used. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Mission good. I don't need that information right now, so see. Let's have a to do, new to do something. You have Rahul or gmail.com. Right? Yeah. Here we have added it, and if you refresh, it should remain the same. Yeah. So backend sending data to the backend is working perfectly fine. Yeah. So if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, nice. I think everybody understood. Great. Perfect. So yeah, so mostly our integration with the front end and back end is done. Okay, guys. So now we want to integrate Novo finally. So we don't need Postman. Finally we are on to Novo. Okay. Yes. So yeah, Novo has a lot of service providers. I have used MailJet as a provider. So what you can do is go to MailJet. You can create an account on MailJet. Uh, Login. Just not login. Okay. I think come on, it should work. let it work. Okay, it's working. Okay, so you want API keys to work with email, right? So we can find the API keys here. So go to your account. After creating an account, you can easily create an account. Just sign up as usual as you do in any other site. Sign up and go to account settings. Okay. If you go to account settings, you will see REST API, right? REST API, and here you can see API key management, etc. Go there, and you can see your primary key API, main account API key, and secret key. So what I've done is I have go to Novu. I've in the integration store. I have integrated MailJet, and yeah, I've put in the API key present here. API key, the secret key as API secret here, and I'm using the email fiddle@gmail.com as you can see, and my name is Fiddle, so I am using the sender's name Fiddle. You can use any name. Okay, so that's if you have done that correctly, you have easily integrated Novo with your email provider. So one of the main things is done. Okay, so now we need to have a notification, right? So for that we need to create a new notification. So in the notifications tab, if you have never used Novo, it might be empty. Don't worry. Click on new tab, so you can have the notification name that have. I'm gonna go to do notify. Okay, notify users about to do. Okay, and we're gonna create a general. There's another option. So create. There's a create, and you're gonna get a snippet. You don't have to listen to copy it right now, but yeah, it's not fair to do. Yeah. So you create snippet. You can have all the details here. Okay, let's go here and okay. Wait a minute. This is front end. I'm gonna work in the backend right now. So we're gonna use. I'm gonna make a new file for Novu API. So let's have it named Novu.js. I can name it anything you want. So yeah, this thing. This is a snippet you are gonna use. Save it. You're not gonna have any problems because you are not connected it yet. But yeah, since if you are gonna import this stuff, we are gonna get some errors which we don't want, right? So I'm gonna use the normal comps because it's the module. Yeah, I'm gonna require it. I had some errors before when I was using it like that. So it's better if I use it like this. Then what we can do is create a function, okay? Function uh, send notification. Okay, and we can place it this inside this, and we can export this like module dot exports is equal to send notification. Okay, let's go. So let's import this here on name of the notification, send notification is equal to have. So if we call this function, it will not work because we have not set our API key. So yeah, we have to set our API key. Okay. const dot dot. Okay, I don't think so. We have to do this. File uh, dot env dot config, and I think it's like env something. I'm not completely sure about this, but let's try. And we will be getting env file like this, but I don't. I think I named it like Novu. So to access the keys inside the env file, we're gonna use Novu API key. Okay, so we can do this. Okay, let's first print it out if it works or not. In this stuff, then we'll call the function. Right now, I'm just gonna call the function send notification in the get function. First, we're gonna call it whenever it's laid out. So yeah, let's call it. Okay, let's see the responses. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, we got the notification. It's working perfectly. Okay, nice. What we can do is we need to replace it with the ID, etc. And so we have to add an email. So what should we add in for the email and this stuff, right? So what we're gonna do is when you're gonna add a to do, we're gonna pass in stuff here. We're gonna pass in, let's say, let's add the to do heading. We can pass in the email, and we can also pass in this to do dot ID. Okay. Well, I would like to console log and show you to guys what it uh, have it. Yeah, I have shown you guys, I think. So if you go to Postman, I hope everybody is clear right now. Any problems, any stuff? Okay, that's something else. I'm gonna add a post request and like add Thomas com. Okay. Uh, so we are gonna get an ID after the response is sent. We receive a response ID of the MongoDB that's generated. So I wanted to have the subscriber ID as a unique, and in the documentation itself, it says that it should be unique. So I'm going to pass this and let's ID. So it will pass with this ID every time. Like the ID is unique every time it's generated. So no worries. I'm gonna pass this, and here I'm gonna pass in. I'm gonna take in some things from here. Taken the stuff not like this. I'm gonna pass it ID. We have we can have ID here. We have email here. The payload we want to passing to do heading. We're gonna passing to do heading. Let's forgot. Let's go here. I'm not to notify previous snippets. Okay, this is a new thing which is there. Okay, I'm gonna mess with it right now. Right now, I'm not able to see the payload option right now here. Okay, let me. No, I don't want it to be. Yes. Settings, map settings, changes. Let's promote it to the production. It's not necessary, I guess. Yeah, it's not necessary. Let me go to some previous email. Okay, let's see whether we are able to send emails or not to the person we refer to do. Okay, let's see. Right now, let's forget about the to-do heading. Let's see if we are able to send email at least. Yeah. Let's go with let me one hard. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna pass in my email. Let's pass in an email. I'm gonna pass this email. Do you think it will work? Let's see. Did I get any job? I will like in the activity field we can see. Yeah. Okay. Demo to do. Will notify to do. Let's update. Not able to see the thing. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Integration store. Okay. Let's go to development side. It's active. Notify to do. Should work. It was working here. Okay. Let me try to debug it. Real quick. Because I don't think so. I think the problem is I'm not able to find um, what is it? The snippet where we're gonna write the payload stuff. I'm not able to find it. Okay, here it comes. I can see this, but notified today I'm not able to see that option. Not able to add the payload here. I don't know why. Am I missing something? Or right now I'm gonna okay. Let's do something. I'm gonna go with this. Okay, this current change of this thing. Let's see it's the problem with Novu thing or my thing problem. If this is the stuff, and we're gonna have to do here. Yeah. Let me try it 1 second. Okay, I'll send it again. Let's check it out. Okay, this one is working, but yeah, I have getting this problem. New to assigned to do. To do is looking Okay. Okay, I didn't save it. Okay, no problem. My mistake. Okay, let's try it again. Should work. Activity. Yeah, it's sent. Let's see. It's no, no, no. Yeah, I got the to do. Work hard. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's working, guys. So I just want to try this one. The template. Yeah, I got the template. Okay, this is some new UI. I was not familiar with it. I'm gonna go back with this. Let me know. Let's go back to the notify and I'll just add the email here. And in email, I will just go to edit template. Hi, new to do. Hi, new to do has been assigned. So yeah. So if you want to pass, what do you say, variables into this, so it's better to have two curly braces here and there, no spaces, guys. Okay. So yeah, let's have the subject as new to do assigned assigned to you. Okay. Yeah. And best. Okay, I want to do it like two ASAP. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's update this thing. Template updated. Actually, this thing is something new UI. This has come across like I think 2 3 days back only. I hope so because it was not there before. So yeah. So let's try working on it once again. I'll just change the name. We'll go back to the trigger snippet. So guys, in the trigger snippet, please note that we have to have this name, not the name you have chosen for your trigger. It should be all smalls and sometimes it might be with spaces or not. So right now it's not with spaces. So yeah, to do notify all small. So with this, okay, we'll save and let's pass and go to sleep. Okay, let's go to sleep. I hope it works now. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save activity field shows this stuff. Yeah, I think it's sent. I want to save it and yeah, I got the to do. Guys, I got the to do here. Go to sleep, do ASAP. So we can work with any to do right now. So I guess hopefully the due to the UI thing, I just got a little bit confused. But yeah, I think I now guys know how to integrate Novu with this stuff. So yeah, I'll just pass. Let me go brief it a little bit. So what Novo is doing is like little nothing. It's just using its Novo API key and it's triggering this event, which contains a payload to do, and we are passing the to do heading, which we pass it from the request.body. We're just passing stuff here and there. Okay, and subscriber ID contains the ID, and email contains the email, and we are just exporting the notification. Okay. Okay, I think guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop it on the chat. And I think I shared the GitHub repo. I will share it once again. You will in the GitHub repo you will get a nice UI with this stuff. With it. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, and at last, thank you for attending the session. If you have any doubts, you feel free to uh, drop it in the chats. So if you don't have anything, so uh, let's keep the session, and I hope you enjoyed it. But if you have any other queries, you can feel free to uh, follow me, like connect me with on Twitter or LinkedIn. And you can, if you have any problems while working with Novu, you can easily join their Discord channel, and they would be more than happy to help you guys solve the issue. They have helped me quite a lot of time when I was stuck. So yeah.